legs are just dead today. Know what? Nice easy 2-hour spin for me. I couldn't ride any harder if I wanted to today. Freaking cool is that descent. I've been waiting to show you that for a while. Love that section of road. It's amazing how an hour or two of easy pedaling can make your legs feel so much better. Done about 90 minutes so far, and I feel a ton better than I did an hour ago. I hope you guys don't mind that I keep coming to the same place on the roof to film. It's pretty much the only place I can get enough light in the house to shoot stuff like this. The houses here seem to be designed to stay really cool in the summer because it gets so hot down here, so there's often not a lot of light in the house, and it also can be quite cold because there's no heating and it's not always built super well to keep the warmth in. So there's a couple things that I need to catch you back up on. First things first is I have the GoPro back. The Hero 4 session is back in business. I got it back a couple days ago and I rode with it for the first time today, and it's working and it's awesome. Filming with the phone camera was actually surprisingly decent. I thought it would be a lot worse than it was. One of the things that was quite hard though was to keep the footage stable. Because the phone is quite big, it was harder to hold, and sort of sitting up with no hands on the bars and holding the phone was quite difficult. But also, and I'm just guessing here, I think because the camera lens is so small, it's really susceptible to shaky footage. A tiny sort of movement is quite exaggerated because the lens is so small, whereas with this, the lens being so much bigger, a sort of bump or whatever on the bike is not quite as drastic. You can probably hear that club down there. It's called, I think it's there. There's a beach club just down there and it's called Lua, and it freaking pumps music out. I was awake between 3 and 5 this morning because of the music from Lua. It drives me mental sometimes. The second thing I wanted to catch you up on is that I am officially going back to the national champs in South Africa. My flights are booked and I leave pretty soon. Actually, I leave in less than a week. I will be in South Africa for a decent period of time. There's a couple things I need to do when I'm there. I'll be there I think for like 6 or 7 weeks, maybe even 8 weeks in total. I'm really looking forward to going home. It's been 2 years since I was last in South Africa, so I'm quite excited about that. If you were jealous of the weather whilst I was here, you're going to be incredibly jealous of the weather whilst I'm there. Things have kind of mostly fallen into place for my trip down there. Flights are booked, everything else is kind of taken care of. The only thing I haven't got yet is a time trial bike to use, so I'm not 100% sure at this point if I'll be doing the time trial or just the road race. I'm still really hoping I can do the time trial because it's an event that I thoroughly enjoy, but at this stage I don't really know. Fingers crossed I can still organize something before the nationals. They take place, the time trials on the 9th of Feb and the road race is on the 12th of Feb, so I've still got got a little bit of time, but really hoping I can organize something for that. It's also incredibly long this year. It's a 48-kilometer time trial. That's pretty serious, and it's not on a flat route either. I think it's 4 laps of a 12k circuit, and each lap has about 160 meters of ascent. So we're talking 600-700 meters of ascent in a time trial is not nothing. The final thing is the responses to the polarized and threshold training video that I put up. I was really stoked with all the questions that I got. I was kind of expecting it to take a couple weeks before I had like 15 or 20 questions that I could get into, but it happened like crazy quickly, and I was really stoked reading some of the questions. They're really good questions, so I'm looking forward to making that Q&A video. I want to do it really fast, but now that I'm going back to South Africa, I'm also going to be meeting up with my coach, and I really want to get like his more scientific perspective on things as well. I think the two of us will provide pretty decent answers. Maybe I've got a bit more experience in some things and he's got a lot of scientific knowledge. It'll be another week or 10 days max until I get that Q&A video out. So thanks again for all the questions. And if you're worried about me cutting white lines and taking like racing lines through the corners, that's a super safe descent in the sense that you can see for miles. You can see who's coming from like 3 hairpins below, and you can also see that entire first stretch what cars are coming, so it's really safe. And I know it's not necessarily always a good idea, but it is good to practice the cornering and to ride it fast. It keeps the skills going. I don't do it often, it's just when I can see and it is safe, and in general I don't take a lot of risks out on the road training, but when it's like that, I don't really have a problem with that. That is the Guilty Club right there, Lua. That place pumps until like 3 in the morning and you just, oh, it drives me crazy.